China is in serious trouble. International pressure is growing, both out of UK, Germany, uh, Canada, United States, India, and several other countries, at least 10, and it's growing. The special pressure put on by the UK is important. But what's really going on with Beijing, and the virus that's now hitting Beijing, the economic crisis in China, there are going to be more riots in the streets, more factories foreclosed or burned, more bankruptcies, more unemployment, more unrest and riots in China. And the CCP is at the very heart of this. How they deal with these things is going to determine whether or not China fractures up. Many people say that it has less than a year or two to go before major things push it over as far as the Communist Party. But one of the most important things they're pushing is putting pressure on Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is doing everything it can to survive and get past the Chinese pressure. The United States is putting more pressure on China not to disrupt Hong Kong. We'll see how this all turns out.
The Chinese regime has always seen Hong Kong as a base camp for pro-democracy anti-communist activities. Every year, Hong Kong holds the world's biggest gathering commemorating the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989, the Chinese Communist Party's bloody crackdown on pro-democracy students. Religious minorities like Falun Gong that are persecuted in China continue to be active in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is also vocal in advocating for China's prisoners of conscience and human rights lawyers.
So let's go on here. The internal structure of China with its Communist Party is becoming very problems. Beijing gave up Hong Kong for survival, but this pressure on Hong Kong and the pressure internally on China may bring the Hong Kong Party to financial and political demise. We'll soon see in a year or two.
Because in the eyes of the CCP, national security means the security of the CCP, of the Chinese Communist Party. It's not the security of the Chinese people or the security of China as a country.
China's communist leader recently stressed that China needs to ensure stability in 6 areas, including basic living needs and food and energy security. Qin said the economic and trade slide in China has made Hong Kong less important for the CCP as a trade hub, but more a threat that triggers bigger change in China.
And those changes are coming. He talks about the economic problems, the COVID-19 now coming in Beijing, the increase of this disease in several other areas of China, and the economic problems in factories, civil unrest, unemployment, and the divisions that are going to start coming forth civically and politically in the Communist Party.
Turn around and say to the people of Hong Kong, look, this is all because of your protests. It is all because of the U.S. sanctions that Hong Kong suffers. It can use this as propaganda.
Qin said the international community has not yet held China accountable in any significant way, even after years of Hong Kong's freedom being eroded by the CCP. But the stakes might be higher for the world this time.
Because in the past, protecting Hong Kong was just about Hong Kong and Americans' interests in Hong Kong. But right now, the meaning of Hong Kong has been raised to another level. People have realized that if the Chinese Communist Party gets its way in Hong Kong, then in the future, its hand will reach the entire world.
There you are. There you are. And the economic pressures put on Hong Kong is going to be most important. And so are the social pressures inside the country with unemployment, factories, um, international trade. They're pulling many corporations and manufacturing out of China, going back to Japan, other countries, the United States, Europe. These are going to have great economic influence on China in the future, near future. I would say within the next 2 to 4 years, you're going to see some major changes in the Communist Party for economic survival and political survival. We'll soon see what happens in the next 2 to 4 years. It may be sooner, maybe a little later, but it is going to happen. And China will have to deal and soften its brutality on its citizens and on Hong Kong. We hope that time will tell. Again, this is Roger Martin from Village, Montana. But major people have said that China is now facing the greatest challenges it has ever faced since its construction and creation of the Communist Party, the CCP. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully soon instead of later. Pray for Hong Kong, pray for India, pray for Taiwan and Japan, because they're next on the chopping blocks if China completely goes after Hong Kong, and especially Taiwan. Good day.